Hi. Hi, everyone.
We look so much forward to hear about the hero bot that you have built.
Yeah, basically, I have a special guest as well. Not just me. I'm going to have my buddy with me,
Wow.
and this
So
is my
it's
buddy.
actually two speakers today.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Um,
Great.
I'm going to talk to my buddy, and of course, he's going to introduce himself, not just
Okay.
me. So I guess
Awesome.
everybody can see my screen.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
take it away, Shannon.
Yep.
So stage is yours. We are going to leave you and the buddy on the stage.
Yeah. Talk to you. So now I'm connected with my buddy bot. Hi, buddy. See, actually, he's replying, "Hi, sweetie. How are you doing today?" "I'm fine. What about you?" "I have been very, very busy to serve at the front line to help provide COVID tests." So, yeah, seems like you have a busy time over there during this corona. Tell us more about it. Sure, many countries have deployed this chatbot actually in their government website during this COVID-19 outbreak to provide COVID-19 tests in the light of the speed and to help identify the symptom of COVID. As we have, the Danish website 1813. This is the former website of 1813, and it's also from Region Ho. You can actually get your COVID test in this website, and it's actually Azure Bot behind the scenes. So first of all, you just have to accept it, and then you can actually start by answering all these questions. And behind the scene is actually the Azure bot trying to identify and telling you whether you have the and you have to tell, of course, the bot your symptom about whether you have any sickness or what kind of sickness, and then he will actually tell you whether you have the COVID or not. And if they suspect that you have the COVID, then they will actually send a test kit to your home, and then you can get a test. Not just that, if you know that the computer world, they also tell about the story about this. I will let Rasmus to actually introduce this because he's better in Danish. And Rasmus, can you please tell the audience about this? What Microsoft actually behind this Danish chatbot
Yeah, so
during this
definitely.
corona? Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, this article is in Danish, and we will share the link afterwards. So then you can also do the translation if you're not that into Danish. But this was a cooperation between a partner in the Microsoft landscape called Proactive and Microsoft to develop this chatbot for Region 8, and it's actually been helping to lower the number of calls to 1813, the emergency phone, so we can identify if people is going to be tested for COVID, because it can identify if they're in the group of risk of having COVID. And actually, as you can see here, 19,000 already used it. So it has actually been, and that was when this article was written. So and a lot more have been using the chatbot already. So it's an awesome example of automating some responses to the people in a country like Denmark. Over to you again, Shannon.
Yeah, thank you, Rasmus, for explaining the website. So you are great. You are great. Thanks. So now you know my capability. Can you do me a favor? I want to know more about your strength. What is your other strength? Yeah, I know you have many strengths. Come on, buddy. You can understand many language. I know if I make you two, yes. And you can find questions. Find answer for my questions. Yes. You are like a library. Yes, I know. If I program you two, yeah, you have many strengths. For example, can you tell us example? Yeah, okay. Actually, this is basically some scenario that when you can use chatbot. It's not just during COVID you use chatbot. You can also use chatbot, for example, Today, if you are working in the industry, transportation industry, you can help your passenger or traveler whenever they have problem with their travel plan. You can actually install or deploy a chatbot in the public facing website to help the passenger to answer, to solving their travel plan. Not just that, you can also, for example, at home, you can work with the IoT devices with this chatbot to monitor your house. Like, for example, if you have plants that need water or your pet need food even, you can actually install this chatbot to with the sensor and or to the camera that identify whether anybody that break into your house, for example. So basically, you can use this chatbot to notify you when something is going on in your house. So if you look at it, it's not just a test bot. It can do a lot of things if you program it to. Okay. You are great. So now now I know all your capability. So what kind of flavor do you want me to do for you? Sure. What is that? Spread the world, bring me some friend. Before that, can we have a rock music quiz? Okay, this is really funny. Before that, can we have a rock music quiz? Before that, can we have a rock music quiz? Sure, I love music. I'm going to play a song, and then let's see whether my my body can actually recognize this song. I hope that you guys know this song, right? Let's see. I'm going to play it here. Hey, I wanna be a rock star. Yeah, rockstar, Nickelback. Super, you're so clever. I'm going to play a next song and see whether you can recognize it. We don't tell what is the song. Let it get it. This one. I know. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Linking part in the end. See that? You can even program the rockbot or your chatbot to recognize some rock songs. So it's actually quite cool. You can use it for many things. But for now, I think I need to teach you how to build a bot from scratch. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. I will shut this down. And then I am trying to teach you how to build a chatbot from scratch. So when you want to build a chatbot from scratch, first of all, you have to come to this knowledge base, the Q&A maker website. So I'm just trying to start from the scratch. So when you come here, this is the front page, right? So first of all, you have to create a knowledge base. And this page will tell you step by step, how can you create a bot? So first, step one, create a Q&A service. It's actually connecting to my Azure. Yep, I have to switch directory because I have so many directories under my account. I choose the Microsoft one. Just spinning. Spinning. Yeah. So it will bring you to this site. To create a Q&A bot, basically you need to have a Q&A maker service. But before that, of course, when you create a resource in Azure, remember to create a resource group as well. So either you can create it in an existing resource group, or you can actually create a new one. So in this case, I would create a new one. For example, dev show ready resource group. Okay. And then, sorry, the location of the resource group. In this case, I'm going to choose not Europe. And then the name of the service, I would choose dev show again. Just not resource group, maybe Azure Bot. Right. And the pricing tier, choose a free one, of course, because it's a demo. And when you create a Q&A Maker resource, you're hosting the data in your own Azure subscriptions, and Azure Search is to use to index your data. So in this case, you also need Azure Search for indexing. So I would choose the same locations and the pricing tier, the free one for demo. And then the app service basically is to for the runtime for your Q&A Maker resource to host your runtime. So I would keep the same name and choose the location, North Europe. And in this demo, I'm going to disable App Insight and choose Review and Create. But in this case, I'm not going to create it now because it's going to take some time. And actually, I already created one here. So means that my step one is completed. I'm not cheating. It's just that I know that it takes some time to actually creating the resources for me. That's why I do it in advance. I hope that you understand. So I closed this one. So I just jump down from here. Yeah, I leave. It's fine. So I jump to step 2. So in order for you, okay, try to imagine that you have been created a Q&A service, and you have to connect your Q&A service to your knowledge base. KB is stand for knowledge base. And you're doing the connections here. Yes, my directory ID is Microsoft, and subscriptions is I have a long list, of course. And DevShow is a Q&A service that I created. And language, I'm going to choose Chinese? No, English. Yep. And afterwards, step 3, name your knowledge base, KB knowledge base. Just say, just for DevShow, right? DevShow, KB. And populate your KB. Yeah, before that, actually, I just want to teach you how to, for example, because you can, of course, start by making up or create a KB by scratch, or by adding a file, but you can actually also adding a URL. In this case, maybe I will try to give an example that what kind of like, for example, if your office or if your company have a Q&A or FAQ site, and you just want to render the Q&A questions and answer into this KB, you can just insert the URL. I will show you how. So in this case, maybe I will say this Q&A. Not this one. Use Chrome. Yeah, it's also because this is actually in English, so it's actually better. I'm going to take this website and put it in my knowledge base. This one goes down. And then here. And you can also choose chit chat. Like for example, if you just want to try out the board, and you can actually have because by default we have some chit chat board that already having in the by default in the knowledge base. You can just choose them. There are some small talk questions into this to actually to start with. Is actually quite cool that you can actually just create a chatbot with some friendly or witty or caring chat. So now create your KB. It's going to take some time. I hope that is not going too long. But when we are waiting for this, maybe I can go and look at the other Q&A knowledge base that I have been making. Now it's done. It's not that long. As you can see, they might have some, question and answer that is not actually not relevant at all, because this is about the cookie. So it's actually not relevant. You can just delete it and delete it. Delete it. Not relevant. Not relevant. Not relevant. Okay. Now this is the Q&A. So after the KB rendering this URL or rendering this Q&A website with the question and answer, you basically can go in and check whether those question and answer is the right one. If you found that something is not right, you can just delete it like what I did just now, and then start to just click this save and train again. Okay, it's done. So you can basically test it in here. If you want to, for example, test whether it is actually working. For example, I would basically choose, like, for example, okay, about these EU citizens. I actually do not need to type the full questions. I can just type the substring of this. And basically, it will actually give me the answer. So I know that this works. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I have to publish this. So when I publish this, so I just close the testing in here, publish it. Yes, so this knowledge base will be published to the DevShow Q&A mega service. Yes, publish. This takes a minute again because it actually have to connect with my Azure portal. So yeah. So basically it is connected, and now I have to create a bot. As you remember, just now we only create a Q&A mega service. We haven't created a bot yet. So in this case, or in this moment, I'm going to create a bot. Yeah. I have to change to the correct directory. Yes. So I have to create a bot. So I'm happy with this name. It's fine. And the resource group is correct. It's DevShow. So it will actually create this bot service inside the same resource group as the Q&A maker services. And I want to choose the right locations, of course, not Europe. And I don't want to pay for the demo. And the app name is DevShow bot is fine. And the SDK language is C# is good. Yeah. And the service plan is okay. And I don't want to have app inside in this off. So great. So it start to validating, and then it will start to create me a bot. It will take some minute for this. But oh, it's actually pretty fast. It's in progress. But maybe before that, I can also show you my other knowledge base. This will be one example. I know that sometimes you want to structure your question and answer in a nicer way because you want to control what what your user reply, because sometimes you don't want them to randomly type in the questions, so you want you want to control the input of the user. You can also making some questions with the answer like this. For example, if I say haircut, can you see that? You basically can also, for example, here, if the user enters something related to haircut means that it's driver license. And then you can basically structure into, okay, now I give you 3 options. So they cannot type. So they have to basically choose the option that you give to them. I will choose the first one. Okay, I want to renew my license for new haircut. Then you say, okay, if you choose this one, and what do you want to know about renewing your driving license? So you can choose. So in this Q&A or Q&A makers, you basically can see that I'm actually structuring my questions and answers so that I'm actually controlling the input of the user. You can do this as well. So you can actually do something like this, and you can also use the URL that I'm showing you just now. Just putting the Q&A website that you have in your company, and it will actually rendering into a set of Q&A sections file, as in knowledge base. Let me go into this. I think this is done. Yes. Go to resource. So now I'm in here, and let's look at it in the resource group. I have a lot of resource group, I know. And the one that what this show is called dev show. And as you can see, the bot is actually created. And I'm going to also test it in the web chat. Basically, let's try it. Give you some time, because sometimes it can have some, hello and welcome. Actually, basically, it is already connected with my knowledge base in this. So if I say EU citizen again, like I tried in the Q&A makers test, see, from here you basically can test your chatbot, and you can see that actually is connected with your knowledge base, and is actually able to carry the answer to your chatbot. It's not only this, I will have some cool thing to show you as well. So let's go into build. You can of course download the source code of your chatbot. So if you click this button, it will actually give you a zip file. So it will include the keys and secret in the source code. If you say yes, so basically you create a zip file, and it will showing in a moment that one is downloaded. It will pop up here. And once the zip file is available, and you can download it and open it in your developer tool, which could be Visual Studio. So you download the bot source code. If you click this button, ta-da, the zip file is here. And of course, you can open it with your Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio 2019, or Visual Studio 2017. So it's depending what versions you have. So this is a source code. But if you don't want to do that, you can also open the online code editor here. So there's an online version as well. Let's try. I don't want to see README. That's fine. Let's go to my board. This is the source code. Yeah. So it's basically either you download the source code and work on there, and then check in back the code, or you can also directly working on the online editor. So in this case, I would say, yeah, this is a source code. Let's try it. Hello, dev show. Saved. And then I'm going to open the console. So now it's actually building the file. It takes some time as well. It's installing. And then it's basically as the same if you are building using Visual Studio Code. It's just, and then you also have to restore it and then deploy it to www.iis. Okay, finished successfully. Now if I go back here to my board, test in web chat again, you can see that the reply will update it. It say hello dev show. Takes some time. Is it happening? Should I start over? Normally it will work quite fast. Let me start over again. I can see that something is not really, doesn't matter. Let me try something else. It could take some time actually for this to reflect. Let me check the, give me a second. I can see that whether the website is up and running by looking up at the app service plant, dev show plant. You will see that. And what is the app is running here? So my dev show bot is running. Yeah, okay. If it's running, then it should work. Let's try it again. You know that I have a free plan. That's why. And this is, the SLA is not. Or maybe it's my internet. Everything just suddenly very slow. I have no idea what's happening. Wait for a minute. Yeah, now it's coming up. Come on. Yes. Let me. Okay, what I can do here is also, of course, trying to check again. I believe that I check in my code, right? Not this one. Board. Yes, hello Dev Show. And it should be refreshed if I can restart the apps. I can actually see that something is broken. It's like not connected somehow. Maybe we will give it some minutes. I will come back to this afterwards, and I will jump to the next topic that I would like to introduce you about Teams. So basically, you can use Azure Bot inside Teams as well. Like this one, I'm actually having the GitHub board, you can say. And how actually I can show you as well how it works. First, I start conversations with signing into my GitHub account. Oh, sorry. Sign in. You already signed in. Okay. And then I'm going to say, I want to have, can I do other than signing in? Let's see. Should say GitHub. What can I do? Sorry, I will do it again because they will have a list of options that you can do if you click this. And actually, you can see this is all the actions you can do. Let's try a pull request, right? But of course, in the very beginning, I have to configure this GitHub board with my repository in GitHub. So basically, this is the list of the latest GitHub pull requests that I have. I can, of course, for example, clicking into this and trying to see what is it, because this view is actually interactive. You can just click on it, and then it will actually, tell you more detail about the specific pull request. And for example, you say, because I click on one of it, say change airport sorting, right? I can also, for example, say, okay, I want to view detail of this pull request, view it in GitHub. So it's actually redirect me into GitHub to look at what actually is. So as you can see, when I being redirected to GitHub, I can see that, okay, this is basically the pull request. Just you can also interact or integrate your teams with Azure Bot. So let's show you a cool thing. So basically, this is the board from Azure Bot, but I actually integrated in my teams right now. So as you can see that you basically do not need to go to Azure DevOps to look at your board, your storyboard, for example. Even not just by looking, you can also create a user story here and not even have to go into. Yes.
I guess you need to repeat the last part because your network was not very well. We didn't hear you. Maybe last 2 minutes. Just repeat it again. 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think that explains why that my board, the code is not updated. I think my network is having some problem. Okay, I will go back. Sorry. So, I will start again. New conversations. I can basically getting all the pull requests. Okay. Pull request I cannot spell. Yeah, I can see that I cannot. Maybe it's better that I use these actions. And what can I do? Pull request. This is really crazy. Yep. And no. Yes, pull request. Maybe I think there's some problem with my network. This is really crazy. Okay, I'll go back up here. So what I've been doing is I sign in, and then I basically just call GitHub bot again, and then I put in the actions called pull requests, and then it gives me a list of the latest pull requests that I have made for this repository. And I click on one of it, which is this one, change AirPod settings, and it gives me the detail of this pull request. And I can actually navigate into this pull request and view it in GitHub. So I click it here, and then it redirects me to GitHub. So, and in this, I can actually see the detail. And not just this, I can also integrate with Azure Bot. Like for example, I can create a new item. Hello show. And saving. And if I go to my Azure Bot, where's my Azure Bot? Yeah, this one. I refresh. See that? It would actually show it as well. I can also show it in the board. It's exactly the same as what you see here and in here. So basically, you can integrate this too, and the developer doesn't have to go into Azure DevOps to actually look into their board or working on their work items. So it's actually pretty cool. And also get notifications when there's a pull request that I have to review. So they will get a notification here as well. So it's basically, you can also create your own board in Teams, integrate with different source as you like. In this case, would be GitHub that I'm showing. So basically, I can get all the detail about my repository here. I will try to go back to my dev show and see whether it works, because there was some problem with the internet earlier. I hope that now it works. I don't think it worked. That's the way that I want it to be. I will try it one more time. I hope you will bear with me. As I mentioned, because this is a free trial, I'm choosing the free trials as well. So the SLA is not guaranteed. Let's put it to. And I build it again. So it's actually running. I hope it worked this time. But sometimes, it's actually quite funny when I'm doing it, not in a show like this, it always works. And then when you come to the live show, things just not working. And it's always happened. So finish. Yes, come on. No. Think I have to maybe trying to restart. But I think it's quite boring if I have to troubleshoot here. let's see whether you have any questions for me while I'm troubleshooting.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
So
We start.
actually, there are two ways to create the chatbot.
Yes.
One of them is through the Azure Bot Services, and then the other one through the Power Agent. So
Yeah.
can you tell me when to use what?
Of course. Basically, I think in Microsoft we have two type of chatbot. One is called Power Virtual Agent, and the other one is Azure Bot. And this is what I'm showing you today. What I'm showing you is Azure Bot. It's not the Power Virtual Agent, but it's a similar bot. But it's just that Power Virtual Agents is actually for internet app. So, for example, if you have an intranet or internet app that only for your own employee, yes, you can actually use Power Virtual Agent. It's the same as like the Power App, the Power Platform. So you don't build a Power App for public facing website. That's the same thing. So for example, Azure Bot is basically is for public facing website. So if you have a website like, for example, this communal website that I just showed you, the 1813 for the corona test is basically a public facing website. It's actually better to use Azure Bot. It's also because of the authentications that behind the scenes on these two platforms. Because Power App you need Azure AD to authenticate, which is then you have to you kind of like have to give a guest access to anyone that have to access your website. So that's why I say Power Platform is for internal use, because you already know who is going to use your applications. And then for Azure or Azure Bot will be for public facing. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, great. And actually next week we have the whole session about the Power Apps as well. So maybe we can see more in that session.
When was it? When is it? The Power App sessions?
Exactly next Tuesday. Same
Okay.
time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I think I would join as well. I heard that it will be a good show.
I'm definitely going to be.
I think there's something's going wrong with this. I don't know what, but I think I will look into it later, or maybe I will change the other board. But any more questions other than the Power Virtual Agents and this Azure Bot? Any more questions?
So we don't have any questions from the audience here.
Okay.
It's been very clear, I guess, the points that you have been going through. But yeah, go ahead, Janine.
I have one cool thing that I would like to show you as well. Anybody actually curious, like how is it that I'm actually integrating with this speech? You know, just now I was talking to my bot. I'm not even typing. I'm not even like chatting. No, I'm actually talking to my bot.
Yeah.
So actually, there's another service that I'm using to make me able to do that. I'm going to show you. So I'm going to my previous board, the board that I'm creating for
So what
this.
you're gonna show now is how you make the speech recognition before.
Yes,
Okay,
and it's able
awesome.
to recognize the songs and stuff, the rock songs that I just play. Yeah. So I'm going to show you, for example, here when I am in. It's not this. It's actually this one. Yeah. It's basically this cognitive service called speech. So how actually you can add it to the board, I can also show you and try and walk you through how to do it. It's actually very easy. But because this board already have it, maybe I will add it to the previous board that I make. I will go back to this.
So this is an already pre-trained model that you can add to the bot that you have, so you don't have to train it for speak recognition, or how is it working?
No, basically the speech recognition thing is another cognitive service. It's actually trying, like for example, when you are talking, it's trying to listening what you're talking and then make it into text.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, there's another AI stuff, cognitive
Yes.
service.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm going to, of course, do it in this bot, for example. And how can you actually add that? You need to have something called speech. It's this one. So, and then you create it. And the name, I will say, for example, if you want to create a rock bot, yeah. And then the locations, North Europe, pricing tier, free, of course, for the show. And then I want to create in the same resource code, right? So create.
So now it has just deployed the service into the existing resource group that you had, and that
yes.
makes it possible for you to connect your bot with this speech service.
Yeah, you are right.
Okay.
So now I go back to the, I actually can go back just, yeah, here. And you can see that is deploy as a Dropbox. And when I go in here, you can also find the key and the endpoint. And how I actually connect that from mine, this one, because I actually download this window voice assistant client from GitHub. It's open source, so you can download it as well. And it's a SDK. You just make the connection profile for this and put your subscription key here and the region. So for example, just now I was, I can try to connect to this one. But I hope that it works because
we just saw it work in the beginning, right? So
yeah.
So you don't have to convince us for this one. But yeah, so
And I will do, like for example, I change the profile called Rockboard right now and put in the subscription key and also the regions. I think the regions is the same. Yes, copy.
North Europe.
Right. Save and apply profile. And then reconnect. Yeah, this is basically what I'm afraid of because just now it was having some connections as well. When the code that I uploaded just now was or built, it was not able to deploy. So this is actually, I need to look into that. But it's actually pretty simple. It's also the same as what, like for example, if I want to connect back to this one, it's exactly the same thing, as simple as what I did just now. But
yeah,
because
so it
this
looks
board is actually up and running, right? Just now we can see it.
Yeah.
exactly. It looks pretty straightforward and connecting the two with each other. But maybe we can also share just a step-by-step guide from the documentation side in our follow-up email with the audience, so they can go and try it out themselves.
Yeah, it's connected, this one.
Yeah, this one is connected. It's because just now, as you can see, I'm trying to maybe I break something by editing the source code of the boat, and then it's just some HTTP error coming up. But if you look at it, this bot is actually up and running also in in the chat and stuff, and I just put in the key and also the locations, and it works. And it's actually quite simple. And afterwards, you can basically just talk to it and without even typing. But of course, I can also type instead of talk. So you have basically two options.
Yeah, I guess we can totally, as Rasmus mentioned, we can put it on the follow-up emails. And we have 4 minutes left. I guess we need to wrap up.